The NFL draft is mercifully just a little bit more than a week away. So now, looking towards the draft, of course, the Minnesota Vikings, 12 picks, 5 in the top 105, 2 first rounders, have a lot of ability to improve the squad. So here are the top 5 priorities that the Vikings should have heading into the draft. Now, the first 3 are all pretty close. So instead of being decisive and actually ranking them, I decided to be lazy and just hedge my bet. So the top 3 are all tied for first. Numero uno, cornerback? Question mark. So yeah, addition by subtraction, letting Xavier Rhodes walk. Weren't going to pay Trey Waynes. Mack is whatever. So yeah, and Hughes neck seemingly is good to go. Holton Hill currently isn't suspended as of right now, so we got that going for us, which is nice. Nate Metters is a person. Chris Boyd is also named, so there you go. And this cornerback class, it is great, but it is pretty top heavy. So the Vikings will have to partake a little bit early on. Like once you get past probably midway through round 3, some of the names get pretty dicey. But I would ideally love a first round cornerback with the Vikings, as well as pairing up, say a day 2 cornerback, maybe even top around 4, etc. If the Vikings trade up, do that up. So say, pairing up Utah's Jalen Johnson with Louisiana Tech's Amik Robertson, I think would be a dynamic duo. Just really bring a lot of youth and a lot of just attitude, frankly, a lot of swagger to that cornerback room. Or say TCU's Jeff Gladney or UCLA's Darnay Holmes, who the Vikings doing a lot of homework with. Teammates with Nate Metters, chemistry. Alma mater of Kendricks and Barr, chemistry. Cool, great. Priority number 2. For the Vikings in the 2020 NFL football draft. Big 6 offensive tackle. Now, we talked about the Big 5, Big 6 to a degree, just expanding out a little bit. I mean, it's sort of like the cornerback room. Actually, more so is that there is going to be an early run of offensive tackles. Won't be shocked if the Big 4, so Andrew Thomas from Georgia, Jedrick Wills Jr. from Alabama, Tristan Wirfs from Iowa, Mekhi Becton from Louisville. I wouldn't be shocked if they're all gone, say, by the Bucks at 14, so for the top 14 picks of offensive tackle. So fine, potentially out of range. If one of those guys fall, do you go after one of them? Potentially, you do have the draft ammo to do it. But if that board plays out the way that it does, I mean, Josh Jones from Houston, I really love. I think you'd be a great scheme fit. Same thing with Ezra Cleveland from Boise State, like we said. Brian O'Neill clone, Austin Jackson from USC, where potential for sure. The kid's only 20, still growing into his body. I do worry about how he performed in some of the big games under the big lights, but yeah, big time project there. But yeah, if the Vikings do come away with one of the Big 6, where Austin Jackson I don't include in the Big 6, although you're starting to see some mocks where he is going super early, like 18 to the Dolphins, where it's like, what? Like, what is going on? But I mean, moving Reef is a priority. You see a lot of the national media joke goes, it's like, oh, Pat Elflein is bad. They cut Josh Klein, so it's got to be guard. But we know. Vikings fans know that moving Reef to guard has always been on the table, is always a possibility. So I think if you're able to get left tackle of the future, or in the case of a guy like Tristan Wirfs, you have him at right tackle and then kick Brian O'Neill over to left tackle, or even like Isaiah Wilson from Georgia. So I think that's something that the Vikings should partake in this draft. But if they don't get an early tackle, there is a lot of developmental projects in day 2, early day 3 that I wouldn't want to start week 1. So ideally, you'll have to double back. We'll get on interior offensive line. We'll get into that in a sec. Also tied for priority numero uno for the Vikings in the draft is outside wide receiver. So this has been touted as the deepest wide receiver class in NFL history. Now, is it up there with 2014 or 96 or 85? Potentially, TBD there. But you do need some playmakers on the outside just to try and fill in that void that Stephon Diggs left when he was shipped to Siberia. And it is the one position that, even like we said, just because of the depth, that if the Vikings didn't go wide receiver first round, especially if the name that they want isn't there, it's fine. But also, I mean, if Judy or Ruggs or CeeDee Lamb somehow fell out of the top 15, maybe you guys do go. Let's go up and get them. But bottom of the first round, 22-25. I do love Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State. I do love Jalen Reagor from TCU. I do love Denzel Mims to a degree from Baylor. Big gamble there. I do like T. Higgins, the freaking condor from Clemson, height, weight, speed specimen. But also, I mean, just look at some of the wide receivers that are in like the day 2 mix in that second or third tier. Tyler Johnson from the Gophers, Pittman Jr. from USC, DPJ from Michigan, Devin Duvernay from Texas is a guy I really like, Van Jefferson from Florida, who if he's fine injury-wise, okay, we're in. As well as James Prochet from SMU, I think is going to be one of the most slept on day 3 wide receivers in this draft. All day 2, day 3 studs that could potentially make an impact right away. Priority number 4 for the Vikings coming up in the draft. So if they miss out on one of the big 6 offensive tackles, right? So no Thomas, no Wills, no Wirfs, no Becton, no Jones, no Cleveland, right? So that brick out there. Maybe they pick up a developmental tackle, maybe like Prince Tega Winogo, maybe Ben Barsh from St. John's, maybe Matt Pert from UConn, maybe who else? Doesn't matter. But if they miss out on one of those day 1 meat-eating left tackles of the future in the draft, double down on your offensive line. So like we said, the Vikings do have 5 picks in the top 105. So say they go wide receiver, corner, maybe a BPA mixed in there rounds 1, round 2. I think there's a lot of really quality day 2 talent that could come in and potentially compete right away on the Vikings interior offensive line. So we got Michigan center Cesar Ruiz, could play some guard as well. Tyler Biadish. Ruiz probably going to be early day 2 pick, potentially may even sneak into the back end of the first round, as well as Robert Hunt, the stupid man size, just really ridiculously ragdolling everyone down at Louisiana. Raging Cajun, let's go. I love Robert Hunt. Nathaniel Muda from Fresno State, the highly variant medical dude. Logan Stenberg from Kentucky, I think is a really solid prospect. Jonah Jackson from Ohio State. Again, get past scouting the helmet. You're going to play pad offline with the Ohio State dude. Yes, we are, because Jonah Jackson is the perfect scheme fit guard. Is in this entire draft will be phenomenal. John Simpson from Clemson, stud. Damian Lewis from the national title champions LSU, stud. Again, Simpson, Lewis, do they necessarily mesh with what the Vikings want to do up front when that movement-based offense? But also very rock-solid players. Shane Lemieux, Solomon Kinley. Lloyd Cushenberry from LSU as well. There's an absolute gang of very solid interior offensive linemen day 2 that are going to be available for the Vikings. Say if they miss out on one of the tackles, or hell, say they get Josh Jones at 22, or say they get Ezra Cleveland at 25, or even if he falls to 58, or if they have to shift around and do that, double down. What is so wrong? What is the big sin of adding a really good interior offensive line depth after you take tackle, right? It's like, yes, Drew Samia is sort of penciled in as a starting right guard, as well as Oli Udoh potentially could be one of the guards as well. But what is so wrong? What is the massive, grave, scarlet letter sin of, hey, we got the left tackle of the future in Josh Jones or Ezra Cleveland. Now we're going to double back, add Nathaniel Mooney in the 3rd round. We're going to add Jonah Jackson in the 3rd round. We're going to add Shane Lemieux out of Oregon in the 3rd round. We're just really going to beef up this stupid offensive line, right? Everyone and their mother complained about how bad the Vikings offensive line has been since time immemorial, since 2014, since Denver came in, since Teddy Bridgewater in 2015 was the number 1 under pressure quarterback in the league. Vikings made the playoffs that year, by the way. So why not just double, triple down on the offensive line? There you go. Also it leads us into priority number 5 for the Vikings. Double dip that damn chip. Go full Costanza on this B, because the Vikings have 12 picks. They have a ton of there's a ton of depth at positions of need for the Vikings. So we're talking about offensive line, cornerback, especially wide receiver. So I want 2 corners, I want 2 wide receivers, I want 2 offensive line. Yes, do go BPA to a degree. Edges there, awesome. Defensive material, awesome. Safety is a low-key position of need, awesome. Running back, you could add day 3. Cool, whatever. Also, they should draft a quarterback. You have a lot of flexibility what you can do. But like we said, my dream would be 1st round cornerback, 3rd round, 4th round cornerback. Hit it up. 2 wide receivers. Maybe you go 2-3, maybe go 2-4, maybe go 3-3, maybe go 3-4. Whatever you want to do. Offensive line. I would love if they went high-low. So honestly, just the generalized positional breakdown of like the top 6 picks for the Vikings. So the first half for the Vikes would be offensive tackle, cornerback, wide receiver, cornerback, interior offensive lineman, or some amalgamation of that, because I actually think that they could conceivably do that, and there'll be a lot of amazing talent there, especially in that day 2 mix. So I think this is a prime opportunity for the Vikings to really hit that pivot point. Yes, it was a bit of a bloodletting of a lot of veteran players saying deuces to the Vikings, although Everson Griffin is going to be back after the draft. Just watch that out. But instead of a full-on rebuild, this is a retool opportunity where the Vikings can infuse a ton of amazing young talent into this team and really carry the squad for the next couple of years under the Kirk Cousins regime. Cool. But that's it. So those are our top 5 draft priorities for the Minnesota Fighting Vikings coming into this draft. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there something you want to add? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, put a little something in the Venmo or hit that join box down below. Find out how you can become a monthly or platinum Jerome. Support independent media, but give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skol, production value.